Okay, I don't know if this one's going to be very long today, but I've been putting off this task, so I figured I should do it today. Um, we are going to go over my first bingo card. I have two bingo cards this year. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you might know that I'm doing book bingo with my friends this year, which is really fun. I'm really enjoying it, but I did not anticipate being so stressed out about actually filling the card. It's not that I'm not reading, I am reading, but I'm like, what if I read a book later that I like better in that spot? My brain says I'm not allowed to change it. But we didn't say anything about not being able to change the book. It just stresses me out for some reason. And I thought maybe if I did it on camera, I would commit. Because that's just my issue. I just won't commit to putting a book to a different spot. So I've got my list of all of the books that I've read this year. And I've written out the first bingo card that my friends and I did. Well, the first one. I have two cards that I'm doing this year. Most of my friends are doing two cards. Some of them are only doing one card, which is totally fine. They don't have to do any at all. I think it's really fun that we did any of these. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to go through each square. I have it color coded. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I have it color coded. So we've got light green, blue, red, purple, and dark green. We're going to go in order across. So my goal for myself this year is not to worry about a quota, not to worry about reading not enough or not reading enough. Um, but also red flag page keeps saying, you can black it out. You can black it out easy. You read 50 books in a year. That's fine. No, that's not the point of this. That is red flag page for a reason. Our goal this year is just to have some fun. So because I can't do anything unless it's goal oriented, my goal for bingo is not to black out both of them. Again, that's more for me than for anyone else. I don't need to black out both of them. I just want a bingo on each. That's it. Just a bingo on each. So we're going to see if I can get at least some progress on a bingo for this one. So starting up in the top, this is top corner. This would be my top right corner. Top left if I put it down, whatever. This corner, starting up here. I'm gonna go down. There's five across, five down. The five across in the top are a book published in your birth year, the first book shown when you Google your name, a genre you don't typically read, a Goodreads or Bram Stoker Award winner, and a book with a disabled protagonist. Now I know for sure I do not have a book published in your birth year. I keep looking for some. I do know I was born in 1997. I think Tuesdays with Maury, which is one, I think it's Mitch Plum. I don't remember his name exactly, but I'm pretty sure that book is 1997. I've been curious about it, so I might do that one. But TBD on that. The first book shown when you Google your name. I did Google my name. I forgot what that book was. I talked about it with my friends. I remember having a conversation about Googling my name and which book do we choose. It's gone. I have no. I'm gonna have to do it again because I don't remember it all. A genre you don't typically read. I have read a lot of fantasy this year. I don't know if. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I have books outside of my typical genre. I also read kind of everything. So I'm just going to go with the genre I read the least, which would probably be um, literary fiction, contemporary romance, or nonfiction. So I'm going to look at one of those three. Mm, I don't think I have anything for that one. I have How to Write a Love Story. That was cute. I also have Convenience Store Woman, which is lit fic. It's literary fiction, but I've got plans for that one for later. Um, I'm gonna wait on that on the book outside of my typical genre. We'll come back to that one. We'll circle back. A Goodreads or Bram Stoker Award winner. I didn't even realize when I was reading the book that I'm going to put in here that it was a Bram Stoker Award winner until literally 5 minutes ago when I was looking up different Bram Stoker Award winners. My plan for that book was going to be there's a Stephen Graham Jones book It's not. Well, maybe it is Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I know that. I think that one did win, but my heart is a chainsaw. That one won a Bram Stoker award, so I was gonna read that one, but I just finished last night the book uh, A Head Full of Ghosts by oh my god, Paul Tremblay. First of all, fantastic book. That was recommended to me by one of my friends. It's one of her favorite books. It is now one of my favorite books of all time. That was so good. Definitely glad to hear. Dolly's chasing a fly. I'm definitely glad to hear that it won an award because yes. So my first official of the year. I know it is June. It's been stressful. Okay. I don't know why this is so. Girl, I don't know why this is so stressful for me, but it is. A Head Full of Ghosts. I should have taken a picture before I did this. A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. Oh, it was such a good book. If you haven't read it and you like horror or you like books that make you uncomfortable or books that, actually, I'm not even going to give any details on it right now. Highly recommend. So we've got our first square up here. If I'm playing bingo with my students, I go G1. Well, actually, it would be a sight word, but anyway. So Head Full of Ghosts is my first bingo square. Next is a book with a disabled protagonist. I actually also, this was the book I finished, I think immediately prior to this one. Yeah. A Spear Cuts Through Water. If you watched my last video, you know that I loved it. I loved that book. But one of them, there's two main characters in that book, or two protagonists in that book. One of them doesn't have an arm. So hello. A spear cuts through water. Whoa. Well, through water. Amazing. Okay. So I've got two squares. I've got two squares going. Yay. Okay. So now we're going to go along the blue line right here. So the second line, we have a book published this year, a popular author's first book, a memoir, a banned book, and a translated book. I already know I've got some of these that I'm filling up, and that's exciting to me. So, a book published this year. I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to put in there. I haven't read it yet. I have A Parade of Horribles, which is Dungeon Crawler Carl 8. Are we on 8 now? Oh my gosh. I haven't started it yet. I'm still scared of it. We'll get to it, I promise. But it's either going to be that or it's going to be Deadbeat, which is book 3 and the final book, oh my gosh, of the Ninth House trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. That one comes out in September. I already pre-ordered it, yes. It's going to be one of those two books. I just don't know which one. It's probably going to be whichever one I enjoy more. It might be Deadbeat. It probably is going to be Deadbeat. We'll see. So that one, not done yet, but I have plans for it. Then a popular author's first book. So this one I actually learned recently that The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, that was his first traditionally published book. That's crazy to me. Joe Abercrombie is a popular author because of The Blade Itself, because of the First Law trilogy, but also The Devils right now. That's that's having a moment. So I'm going to call that my popular author. So The Blade Itself will be his first book. Joe Abercrombie. The Blade Itself. Boom. Okay. Moving along to memoir. I have not read a memoir yet, but I have Jeanette McCurdy's book. I'm Glad My Mom Died. That one is going to come in on Libby soon. So that's what I plan to do. But I also have Homeschooled by Stefan. It's probably Stefan because it's an F. Stefan Merrill Block. This one is a memoir I saw recently. I think it was recently published. I'm very interested in this one. When I know more or I've read more, I probably will do an update, but this could be my memoir as well. So I don't know. It'll be one of the two. Then a banned book. Again, haven't read this one yet. I'm thinking of 1984. I actually haven't read 1984. So that will probably end up being my banned book. But then a translated book is going to be Convenience Store Woman. Don't say anything about me looking up how to spell convenience right now. It's been a long day. Okay. Okay. Convenience Store Woman. So that book was originally published in Japanese and translated to English. So there's my translated book. Okay. Actually, I have a good cluster in the corner. That's so exciting. So we've got A Head Full of Ghosts is my Bram Stoker Award winner. I've got A Spear Cuts Through Water is my book with a disabled protagonist. And then I've also got The Blade Itself is a popular author's first book. And Convenience Store Woman as my translated book. So I've got a little cluster going here. I've got a corner. We're making progress. Now we're going to do the red line. So on the red line, this is the very middle line across. It's a book published before 1950, a book by an author who blurbed your favorite book, a YA novel, a book with an ugly cover, controversial, and a sequel. So book published before 1950. I am still making my way through oh my goodness, Crime and Punishment. Sorry, my brain is just not working today. I'm still making my way through Crime and Punishment, so we'll see how that goes if I finish it this year. That's only partially a joke. Not because I don't enjoy it. I just this year has been interesting. It's been a year. Um, but my little brother's favorite book, I'm trying to find it here, is Lord of the Flies. I'm thinking about reading that one. I know I haven't read it yet. I know. I'm thinking about reading that one for what? Oh, there it is. William Golding. Oh, hello. Hello. I think this one was published before 1950. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, are you kidding? It's 1954. Oh, okay, so I'll have to think of a different one. Um, girl, Dolly's got hops. Jeez. Um, man. Okay, I was really banking on that one. Oh, wait, that threw me a little bit. Mm, we'll have to revisit. Oh, sad day. Okay, a book by an author who blurbed your favorite book. So that one is, first of all, ground rules that we've got here. I've talked about my friends for this and everything. Um, when we say your favorite book, we just mean a book that you really like. I don't have one favorite book. My friends don't have one favorite book. So it's a book that we really like. And then a blurb would be Here's Circe by Madeline Miller. I haven't read it yet. I'm scared of this one because I know it's going to make me cry. But on the back, we've got authors who have said something about the book. Like they've commented on the book. This is blurbing the book. So it's going to be one of these. So I could do Ann Patchett for this one, Alexandra Alter, although she's from New York Times. Oh, yikes. Okay, so we'd have Ann Patchett, who did actually just release a book. But I've never read an Ann Patchett book, and I have also not read this one, so it wouldn't count. But let's say, oh, I'm sure I've got one of my favorite books next to me somewhere. This will work. So if it's Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, I did love this book. Oh, well, we don't have any authors blurbing this book. Uh, uh. So yeah, this one only has magazines that blurbed it. So regardless, I will find something. I think I saw that Joe Abercrombie did blurb. No, but I already used my Joe Abercrombie. Whew. So I'll have to revisit that one and see some different options I've got for it. I might have already read one because I'll read a lot of like within. Ooh, sorry, I just got an idea. I could read um, A Darker Shade of Magic by who is that? V.E. Schwab, because I know V.E. Schwab did blurb Ninth House, or if not Ninth House, then Crooked Kingdom. But she did blurb Lee Bardugo, who we are a Lee Bardugo fan, big time. Um, so maybe that could work. That could work. YA novel. I've read 3 this year so far. I plan to read more actually. Um, I've read 2 Gregor the Overlander books, and I've read The Hunger Games. All of those are YA. Hmm. But I'm going to be a stickler for myself here because it says a YA novel, and a novel is typically a standalone. So I'm going to challenge myself because I think I did recently buy Hoot for one of the kids that I teach that I work with. So maybe I'll use Hoot. That's a novel, it's a standalone, and I haven't read that since I was about in middle school, since I was like 10. So maybe we'll do that. A book with an ugly cover. I don't think I had any ugly covers yet this year. Hero of Ages was great. Butcher's Masquerade by Matt Dinniman, great. I really like the covers for Gregor the Overlander and The Hunger Games. Hello, those all have great covers. Starless Sea. I don't think this is like the best cover I've ever seen of all time, but I definitely don't think it's ugly, so I wouldn't count this one. Yumi the Nightmare Painter is literally displayed because I love that cover so much, so not that one. Convenience Store Woman I've already used, but also I don't mind that cover either. Project Hail Mary has a great cover. Bedlam Bride, yeah. Okay, so I guess I need to find a book with an ugly cover because I like all of the covers of what I've read this year. Oops. And a sequel. I've read lots of sequels. I've read lots of sequels. If I need to, I'll probably stick a Dungeon Crawler Carl book in there because I'm reading a lot of them this year. So yeah, we're gonna leave those two. We're not gonna fill in a red one right now. That's okay. That's okay. We won't fill a red one. So let's look at the purple line. On the purple line, we've got a book you've owned for more than a year, but you haven't read yet. Yeah, I have a lot of those. But I am actually earlier today, I started Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. That was a really interesting first chapter. I probably will keep going with that, in which case it will be my book I've owned for over a year. A book with multiple authors. I have not yet read any books with multiple authors. If anybody has any suggestions for this one, I haven't looked into it yet, but I want to start reading recommendations more. I find books all the time that I want to read, but I like to experience what other people experience too. So, if you know any books with multiple authors, I am very curious. A fairy tale retelling. Haven't read one yet. I need to check with my friends because Circe is technically a Greek mythology retelling. However, do we count Greek mythology as fairy tales? Because when I think fairy tales, I'm thinking like Grimm fairy tales, like Hans Christian Andersen, like Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, that kind of thing. In which case, I do know that Catriona Ward, oh, love her, by the way, she released a book either late last year or earlier this year called Burning Neverland, which is Peter Pan. That's what I'm thinking about for this one. A book with stars on the cover. That one, I wish I grabbed it first. A Butcher's Masquerade by Dungeon Crawler Carl, by Matt Dinniman, which is book 5 of Dungeon Crawler Carl, right? 5. Right, right, right. Mm. Yes, Butcher's Masquerade. That is book 5. It has stars on the cover. That was a surprisingly hard one because I went around Barnes and Noble with my mom one day just trying to find books with stars on the cover. That's surprisingly hard. Um, so this one, I thought, okay, maybe Project Hail Mary. Nope, no stars. And then I was like, okay, well now I have The Martian. That one's set in space, no stars. I have Empires. Oh, I guess this one does have stars. I think that is why I bought this one, which is the first book. It's Empire Silence, which is the first book in the Sun Eater saga, the Sun Eater saga. Blah, I can't get my words out today. My goodness. So I think that's why I originally bought this one, but I'm actually going to put the Butcher's Masquerade in there. So we got another one. Go team. The Butchers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Nobody talk about my handwriting today or my spelling. Ugh. Okay. And a book adapted into film is a. Why did I think it was a good idea to film right now? Anyway, we're going with it. We're going with it. It's fine. A book adapted to film is going to be Project Hail Mary. That's why I read the book at all. Actually, I had this slotted as my film book before I read it, before this year even started, because I knew I was doing this with my friend. And dude, that just needs to be in my bingo somewhere. We have to give some love to that book because I loved it. Okay, so purple. We've got a couple filled out on purple too. We've got for a book with stars on the cover, it's The Butcher's Masquerade, and a book adapted into film is Project Hail Mary. So I'm pretty close to, I don't know if you can see, I'm pretty close to a bingo here. Mm-hmm. We're getting there. We're getting there. A book you were, oh my gosh. Keep it consistent page. We have scrambled egg brain today. A book, this is the green, the dark green, so the very bottom. A book you were supposed to read in school but never did. Hey, look at that. Lord of the Flies. You're welcome, Christian. It's my brother. It's his favorite book. He's told me a bajillion times to read it. He's not a reader, so if he tells me to read a book, I should read the book. A book with a one-word title. Don't believe I've done that one yet. Nope, not yet. So again, if you have, nope, not one. A book with a one-word title. If you have a recommendation for that, let me know and I might consider it. A graphic novel. I haven't read it yet, but I do own it. I read the first, I guess, like saga or collection, oh my gosh, of One Piece last year, the manga. I have the next book, so I'm probably going to do this. One of my students was like, no, you really need to watch One Piece. I think you would really enjoy it. And I was like, maybe we'll start with reading it, and then because that's a commitment. And if I don't like this, I can just stop reading it. But it's gonna bother me if I just have it sitting on my Netflix for like a bajillion years and I don't watch it, which is odd for me. That's usually the other way around. Usually I drop shows faster than I drop. I don't know. Anyway, regardless, this is going to be my graphic novel. A book based on real events. Oh boy, do I have a lot of those. Oh boy, are a lot of those actually nonfiction. I have to be in just the right mood to read nonfiction. I have not been in just the right mood to read nonfiction. We'll get to it. I've got a few choices for that one. And the last one is a book with a non human protagonist. I technically have read these before. Technically, Dungeon Crawler Carl has non human protagonists. But no, I can't use that for all of them. I don't think I've got one yet for that. Yeah, no, not yet. So I'll get to that one. I do have one. I picked it up on my birthday, actually. The last like 2 or 3 years for my birthday gift to myself, I've gone to the bookstore. I've gone to Half Price Books and I've gone to Barnes and Noble. And that's when I used all of my points from Barnes and Noble that I saved up for the year. But I'll go and just do a big book haul. I picked up Feral Creatures by I cannot read that author right now. But those are animals that are telling the story, so that could work. I have a few different choices. Actually, I do have a few different choices for that, don't I? I mean, I read a lot of fantasy, so chances of filling that one are pretty good. So no dark green to do today, but I am pleasantly surprised with how many of these guys I was able to fill in. You can't see it very well, so let me try. We've got one here, one here, one here, here. Doop, doop. Okay, some of these I have books that would fit, but I purposefully did not fill it because I know I've got my other bingo card too that I want to put some on. But we've got 2, 4, 6 squares colored in this year so far. I'm doing pretty okay. That actually makes me feel a lot better. And now it's locked in. I can't change my mind. um, so that's what I did today for my planning. I probably will do another one next week, another video on my other board next week. But if you have, like I said, if you have any suggestions, if you want to see some of the other bingo cards that we did, my friends sent me half of the prompts. I came up with the other half of the prompts, and then I made 10 different bingo cards out of them. So this one does not have a free spot. My other card does have a free spot because these were all of my friends' prompts. And then I have a board that's all of my prompts without a free spot. All of the rest have free spots. Did that make sense? I don't know. I hope it did. But anyway, let me know what you think. Do you have any suggestions? Do you want a bingo card? I'm open to I'm open to letting you guys do it with us. That would be super fun. So yeah, just comment below if you want to join in or if you have anything to say. Hope you had a good reading week.